Uh, well, this is episode 7. It's been 2 weeks. It was me coming up on 3 races that we haven't covered. We haven't been able to get schedules together aligned, and we came together today saying we need to get going on this. It needs to be consistent, so we decided to do it. Wish Frank was here to be a part of it, but we can't just go weeks without. It needs to be consistent. Um, what I want to do, like we talked about, Wednesdays for us at least recording, but I actually want to do live stream. I think live stream would be something to try and see how that goes. But from there,
Cool.
I don't know. The last video probably got like 20, 30 views. I haven't looked. I don't think any comments to comment on to continue the conversation. Like I said, we haven't really been active on anything, so I guess we can go on to California. I thought it was a really good race, but very hectic. I would not want to be a driver. With the way the tires were approached. Approached. NASCAR, it seems to me, they're hell bent on using this bullshit tire, and I wouldn't be more pissed if I was a driver in my life. The fact that if you got a flat, you got to wait for someone to tow you to your pit box, and you're gonna go down laps. You can't just drive around.
No, there's a lot of them, and that's in my notes. Is that it was unbelievable. Number one of qualifying. Did you happen to catch qualifying?
Yeah, it was. They were
4 or 5 of them in the final 10 never made it to the line.
Yeah, because they were trying so hard to get it. I think Chase was one of them. There's a couple of them, but yeah, they're going all out. They don't have the either grip, or it's just that tire sucks.
Well, they had that bump in turn 4 that was upsetting
tunnel,
the cars.
yeah.
And then they were also complaining about the seams on that track, that if they hit the seam or the bump at the same time, it was just almost impossible to hang on to it. My big takeaway is, and I wrote it down in big letters: flat tires. Flat tire equals rollback. And like you said, you're going to lose a couple of laps. And I found out that because we had this discussion on an earlier podcast about the interliners. Any track under a mile, they don't have them. What are they going to do at a Martinsville or a Bristol, Phoenix this weekend if they have all these flat tires?
I noticed last week at Vegas, I seen someone had a flat tire, and I seen the interliner, but it's still not helping the car to get to the pit box if they go flat.
No. Yeah, well, especially if they end up in the grass anywhere, then they're done.
It's like you're in grass anyways, because once the tire goes down, that belly is on the ground. They can't, especially with how those tracks are, and if you're stuck. You have to get towed to your pit box, and you're gonna go down at least 1 to 2 laps, depending on how big the track is.
Yeah, well,
bullshit.
Again, what if you happen to have that happen to you at a Martinsville or something? Now you're talking 6 or 7 laps.
Well, look at Kyle Busch last week. He was down 2-3 laps. Came back to be second, but he was down. Even the week prior, he was down 5 laps.
Yeah.
With his situation, and came back to be on the lead lap. But like, these guys are fighting. It's not really their fault. It's the car's design.
Yeah, it's the wheels. All the other problems that the new car has, as far as this, well, and I think if they were to go back to the 15-inch bigger or smaller tires with the bigger actual
spoiler
circumference of the tire.
Oh yeah.
Were they, even with the newness, that belly pan, that new diffuser is a huge problem.
Yeah, I agree. The rear diffuser, yes.
Yep,
if they get that damaged, they're in trouble. Yeah.
Yep. And then they had those, the Toyotas had all that cooling system problem out at California, and that has been explained. They said that the Toyotas tried to put in some kind of a screen in front of the radiators.
Yeah, to help out dirt and stuff, clogged it up. All those
catcher.
Toyotas, yep.
And so they got away from that. But again, the stability, I think, can be overcome with the wheels. The cooling system, I think they've got that thing taken care of, because now they're not letting them do that. But I'm telling you right now, NASCAR's got a huge problem with this wheel. They have got to figure it out. And I don't know my answer is go back to the 15-inch 5 lug. I mean, like you said, these guys, they get a flat, they're done.
Pretty much.
Um,
And if it's early race, they can come back, but near the end, you're not. Like you might as well
but
pack it up.
look at the chances you got to take to get those 4 or 5 laps back. You know what I'm
With
saying?
this car, the last two races, Cali and Vegas, there were so many cautions they got comeback. Like look at Kyle Busch, he came back after down 5 laps. Only reason I
Yeah.
know that because I had him in my lineup. I was like, come on. Only reason I knew that. But did you kind of on the Kyle Busch thing? Did you see what he said? What he said last week after his interviews? Not
To
not about
Alex Bowman.
not Alex Bowman about the car.
No, I didn't catch that.
The
All I
one
heard was
with
about
the one about Alex Bowman. He always backs into these fucking things and blah
yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah. The other one was they're asking him like, "Are you surprised how good your car was after being in a backup and it wasn't put together?" He goes, "Why? These cars are bought at Walmart. They're all the same."
It's about the truth.
He
Well, that car that he ended up running at Vegas was a backup parts car.
Yep,
It was not.
it was a backup parts, yeah. And they put all the parts for
That's
the one
all it
he
was there for.
crashed, and he's like, "It doesn't matter. All these cars are the same. They're Walmart cars. There's
Yeah.
no difference besides the nose between manufacturers." And I thought it
Yeah.
was so funny.
I did not see that one, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's cool. As far as California, I do agree with you. I believe it was a good race. It was a lot of mayhem.
It was
Uh,
a lot of fun. They were able to actually move around the track and pass in this,
yep.
but the only issue, well, not only, but major issue was the tires, and that's is contributed to the track also.
Another
So
issue that NASCAR is having, and it showed up again this weekend for Phoenix, is this inspection.
really, I know last weekend Chase got nailed, and the previous weekend were like what we named like 4 or 5 cars, and Kurt Busch got
This
the
week
worst of it.
it's this week there's 9 cars at Phoenix
Really?
that failed twice.
See that I
But
think
my point
they're
was
being
Kurt
being
Busch.
too stingy on, in my opinion. They're trying to catch him with every little thing, and if it's off by a degree or two, you're screwed.
Yeah. Well, Kurt Busch failed 3 times out at
Cali
California.
and had to go through a pass-through penalty and start in the back
Yep.
and shit.
And then one more thing, and then I want to wrap up California. Is we had talked earlier too about them possibly demoing that track and going to a
Yes,
half mile.
yes.
I guess that is back on hold. The zoning commission or something of San Bernardino County has yet to approve the plans, if there is even still plans, which is unfortunate for Fontana Club Raceway because they broomed their schedule for the rest of this year, anticipation of tearing that thing down and rebuilding it,
Well,
and now
they
they've
don't want
got
to repave it either because that'd be a waste of money if you're gonna remake a new track.
exactly. So I guess my point is like I said, they had the cup race, and that was the only thing on their schedule this year because they thought they were going to get approved to tear it down and do this new thing. And now, not only are they not going to be able to do that, they don't have any income for the rest of the year. They broomed their schedule completely. So I guess they're going to have concerts and mud trucks or something out
Yeah,
there to
figure
try
it
and
out.
get people in the gates.
Yeah,
Hell, maybe they'll put a football game in there. We put a racetrack in a coliseum.
yeah. I don't know. And
Oh, unbelievable! But I truly hope that they do end
I
up
do.
getting that half mile track. I think that would be the best thing for them.
Yep. And yeah, I agree. And a lot of that construction can be halted. They can do a lot. They can make that track and get, later on tear apart the rest.
Yeah, they can make the new track and then do the demolition of the old
Yep.
after the fact. But I hope they get that approved, and I hope that they get it done for next year. And I can see if they do get that track to be a half mile, I can see double dates out there again.
Oh, oh yeah. It'll be a Bristol, Martinsville. Hopefully, it looks
Yeah.
like their idea is a mixture between the two. From what at
Well, it's
least
like
the
a
picture.
Martinsville with Bristol banking.
Yeah, yeah, like a mixture. Yeah, so that'll be interesting if they do that right.
Yep. So, all right, buddy, on to Vegas. Austin Cindric gets his first pole, which I thought was cool.
It's kind of funny. It did it again this week, and I think Ford's who was a pole winner for
Blaney.
Cali. For
Oh, for
Cali,
Cali was oh crap.
I think Fords are really good for qualifying, but when it comes to actual these racing these tracks, they're not very good. Well, they are good, but they're just not as good as um. I can look it up real quick.
They all, I don't know. We'll see.
Chevys are really good at these tracks. I don't know. Toyota was really good last week until the last caution where Hendricks decided to do 2 tires, which I thought was sketchy, and they pulled it off and pissed Kyle off, obviously.
Yeah, it did. That really irritated him.
Yeah, he was not a happy camper.
For today's lineup, you've got well, heck, in the top 3, you got a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Ford on the pole. Then you got another Ford and another Ford. Chase Briscoe, that's a Ford. Then a Chevy and a Ford. You got a lot of Fords in the top 10.
Yeah, Fords are really good at qualifying, but when it comes down to the racing, I don't know if it's just the car setup or just how they race. I just think Chevys right now on these mile and a half tracks are just better overall.
And of the Toyotas, Hamlin's in second, and the next closest one is Kyle Busch in 11. So there's only 2 in the top 12.
But last week, I was really liking Blaney's Pennzoil car. It was really sharp looking until I think he got wrecked. It was really nice. I really liked that car.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was very pretty. Where did Blaney finish? Gosh dang it, where'd my mouse go?
I was looking Vegas results. He crashed or a tire went out.
I apologize.
Oh, I'm looking too.
Well, my stuff messed up here. Last race results.
Ryan Blaney finished 36th, second to last.
Yeah, he had a problem.
Yeah, I think he crashed or something. Yeah. Yeah, then
I really thought Kyle was going to win that thing.
Oh, if it would have not happened with that green and they had to get tires and fuel or whatever, he definitely would have. I thought Kyle Larson was going to win it, but I kind of feel like he pulled back in the last corner just to give to Alex after what happened last weekend with Chase.
I think you might be right.
After what happened with Chase, because it felt like he kind of, all right, I'll give it to you, instead of causing, more damage or yeah.
Well, and that whole thing with
Chase, that wasn't Chase. Everybody's hating on Chase because Chase fanboys, he's crying again. Honestly, Kyle didn't know he was there. If you didn't know, Kyle Larson's spotter took the blame for it. He's like, I didn't call it. I didn't call high.
TJ Martin.
He called, and everybody's like, well, Kyle Larson's throwing his spotter under the bus. I'm like, no, he's not. He literally came out on his own and took the blame for it. And that's
he put out a tweet.
Yeah,
he put out a tweet of his own.
And then Kyle Larson, if you watch his entry into the corners, he goes high, and it was just at that time, it was just timing. And then, yes, it screwed Chase's finish.
Well, they were looking out for what's his face underneath him. Was it Ross Chastain? I think
Suarez. I think
somebody underneath him. Yeah. And it's funny because that website that I write for, they actually, that was the first text I got after the race, is they wanted me to write about the Alex or the Kyle and Chase thing, and I said no, it's a non-issue. I'm not. I don't.
You can write about it, but it's really nothing. Yeah, well, it's going to cause a stir in Hendrick, but Hendrick's going to shut that shit down. He goes, look, I know Chase.
Did the next day. He had all 4 of them on a Zoom call.
Yeah, Chase, he was hot during the race, but if he would have, I'm sure he watched it and realized that's how he was entering the corners. Kyle Larson, you got to realize he studies tracks, and that's how he was entering. It wasn't a block. That's how he entered, and it just so it happened. Chase had a run.
But he tends to diamond those corners out quite a bit, and it's not just that track. But I agree. That was a nothing burger. And I think you might be right. I think at Vegas, he probably did defer a little bit to Alex, just maybe so this wouldn't be 2 weeks in a row. I don't know.
I don't know. It just felt like he kind of got off the gas. Um,
How do you like Hamlin tossing his tranny at Vegas?
oh man.
I was laughing.
Uh, yeah, it was. I thought that was funny because I feel bad for him too because he hasn't had a good finish at all.
No, he's had a terrible year so far. I don't think he's finished a race yet. He crashed at
Daytona.
Daytona. I don't remember what his problem was at California. Then he wrecked his own transmission coming out of the pits at Vegas. So
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the. Denny Hamlin finished 15th running. He
okay,
at
that wasn't
Montana.
horrible,
No, it wasn't his normal.
but not as normal exactly. Um, they changed practice up, and I kind of actually like the way they changed it
I know what they
versus what.
added. They added time.
Yep, they added. I think it was 10 or 15 minutes. They're sending them out in two groups, and then they go straight into the qualifying, and then uh, the top five from each one of the qualifying sessions gets to go for the top 10 again. But I gotta like that they give them more time. I really
They
do.
definitely need it because what before they had 2 or 3 1-hour sessions
They'd
prior
have
to.
2 days,
Yeah.
you know, in old days, but they just I don't know. I don't like the abbreviate. We've talked before. I used to love the 2 day qualifying. Set the first 20 on Friday, the second rest of the field on Saturday, and then even after that qualifying, you would still have some practice sessions, and you were
Yeah.
able. They had their qualifying motors, so they changed them out and put the race motors in. I think that was more of a challenge to the crews than
Yeah,
what they're doing now.
they gotta swap everything.
Yep. Um, Oh, as far as Vegas, I thought that again, that was a good race. I liked the drama at the end.
Yep.
Um,
I like I said, I both races were good. It's just the tire issue is still recurring. I'm unexpected today too.
yeah. Now, you can't tell much from the Xfinity guys just because they're
They're
still running the old 15-inch tire.
Yep, 15
Did you
5
see
lug.
they Bender got him in trouble for illegal lug nuts on the Xfinity cars?
Mm-mm.
They supposedly shaved them down like a micro of something, and NASCAR impounded tires at Vegas, I think it was, and like 3 or 4 teams had these lug nuts from this particular vendor, and I mean, people got tossed out again and fined
What
and
is that
everything
gonna
else.
do? What I don't understand what that does for a team.
Supposedly saves them a little time on putting on the lug nuts. It's
Oh, it's
like a
probably less
another
threads, maybe.
yeah, less threads.
I guess.
I would think shaving them down, if you're shaving them down on the bezel, then you would actually be on the nut longer than you would if it was a longer nut.
Like I said, they're probably shaving down 1 or 2 threads, which in turn can save a millisecond or two
Yeah,
on and off pit. I didn't know that.
but
No.
yeah.
Um, One thing that was kind of pretty bad at the start of the week and how it ended is the ARCA team that crashed the
Oh
trailer.
my God.
It was at Todd
David
Bodine,
Gilliland
David
raced.
Gilliland Racing, and then they won in the ARCA race. Their team won, which is
Yeah, and did you see
pretty
that
damn cool.
Jennifer Joe Cobb's team is the one that stepped up and brought a hauler, I believe it was all the way from West Virginia, to collect equipment and get them to the race on time.
No, I didn't hear. And I just
Yeah.
know from the tragedy that happened with that crash. I don't know the circumstances, but I'm assuming it's weather related.
No.
No.
What did now I don't know what the weather conditions were, but the official statement from the Texas DPS says that Scott Schatz was the guy's name, and he was
Mm-hmm.
54 years old. Uh, for some unknown reason, he just ran into the back of a an SUV that was hauling some kind of a utility trailer and veered off the road and hit a center abutment under a bridge,
Wow,
just almost head on.
he
But
might have had a
they
heart
don't.
attack or a stroke.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was a medical event.
Yeah,
I don't know whether it was daytime or nighttime.
yeah.
I don't know whether it was
I
raining or
saw
not. But
pictures and it was pretty damn drastic and severe. It was
the
pretty,
cab was burnt to a crisp.
yeah, it was pretty bad. Well, they
It
have
was
racing
gone.
fuel on there, so
Yeah,
and
it
that
was
was
really
pretty.
bad.
But it ended up being a cool story, kind of like how Ricky Hendrick when he died. When they won the Hendrick won the next race, and so it's kind of
Martinsville.
yeah. So it's cool. It sucks, but it's a good feel good story, not fairy tale at the end, but it helps with them winning the ARCA race. So I was good.
And
I
the
was good to
NASCAR
hear that.
community once again comes together. I mean
Yes.
that
Yep.
that's the cool part is
Yep.
Jennifer Joe Cobb, she doesn't have a whole lot of extra money to do a whole lot of things, but for her and her organization to step up and get there and do what they did is awesome.
I don't know who the racer was. I just seen that team won. I saw like number 17 or something.
It was David Gilliland Racing. Um,
Can look it
Dang it, I
up.
just had that.
Taylor Gray.
There you go. That's it.
Taylor Gray's number 17. Emotional night. Yeah. When
Yep.
it scores ARCA Menard Series win at Phoenix.
So there's that. Um, Couple of little tidbits I thought was cool. First of all, Greg Biffle was back in the number 44
Yeah, he
at
didn't really do
Vegas.
well. He had a gas pump problem. Both races he were in, he's had car problems for that small
Yeah, well,
team.
it's that and New York racing team. I don't know who
Mm-hmm.
all's involved with that.
Yeah.
And another thing, I watched the truck race at Vegas specifically just because Todd Bodine was
I heard he came back.
was in it.
And did he crash or he went out or something? Something happened.
He got put out somehow, but it was cool. Another feel good story, and I know Richard Childress isn't the only one that's done this since the story broke, but he donated 1 million
Yeah,
rounds of
yeah.
ammunition
To
to Ukraine.
Ukraine, yeah. Mm.
And then of course you got the Hendricks guys out there collecting money, and I think is it $2,000 that
He
Rick Hendrick is lap
every
that they lead.
every lap that lead who's donating $2,000. I don't know to what organization or whatever, but yeah, every lap. And then they
Yeah.
talked about in the middle, he already owed like 50,000 in the middle of the race. It was quite
Well,
a
and
bit.
then on top of that, he was gonna match it or something like that.
Yeah.
So, because I remember hearing some figure like by the end of Vegas that the total check going to whichever charity
Organization.
this is, it was close to $200,000. So I thought that was cool. Michael Jordan starting to run his mouth.
Yep, because
Starting to run his mouth.
I saw that too. Yeah, toward here, Hendricks donates 2,000 towards Ukraine relief every Hendrick motorsport driver led lap. They committed $200,000 to a Samaritan's Purse, who will be
Okay.
on Kyle Larson's in Vegas. But yeah, it was every lap. I'm trying to figure out the final total.
I think they whatever it was, I think or however they got to that number, I believe it was right about 200,000.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
yeah,
Michael Jordan. Go ahead.
yeah, I absolutely agree with Michael Jordan. Those
Yep.
teams.
Yep.
This is NASCAR needs less relationship with the sponsors. I 100% agree.
Well, he's he's
Doesn't
in
like the
a big check and the big this and that, and he realizes it's sponsor driven and they have a lot of sway and say.
they
And-
do.
And he, I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's been coming up before other people, but Michael Jordan's a big name. He's just coming into it. He's from other sports. Has his, this and that. You know what? Something might change from it. I don't know, but I did see that he was saying that they need to get away from the sponsorship, algorithm they have or whatever how you put it. He wants
And I put that squarely on NASCAR though for making this thing so darn expensive. They have to have sponsors or they couldn't go racing.
Yep.
Did you see? and back to Fontana, I wrote this down late that Mark Martin was in the booth
Yeah, I
at
really
Fontana.
enjoyed that. Yeah, I was like, holy shit,
That was
Mark
cool.
Martin. Yeah, that was really cool. I saw him. Yeah, when like I was gonna send a picture or something like that, and it was cool seeing him in there. He looks like a crazy old man, but
He does. It was nice to see him and Kenseth
yeah,
interacting, and
yeah, it was cool to see.
um,
I hope he's. I
and
hope
I
they bring
really
up
like
the
Kenseth. Yeah,
Ken,
I really
Kenseth.
like Kenseth in the booth.
All three of them so far: Tony, Kenseth, and Danica. I think Danica's.
Really.
Hey, she's a face that
She's
brings
got to
in.
remember she's calling
Cut.
NASCAR races, not F1,
Yeah,
not Indy.
yeah.
She I'm sorry, I was completely put off by it. Just my opinion. I guess she's back in the booth again this
Oh,
weekend.
is she? I
I
figure
think.
they do it to give it to her because it's a female. She's in it, and I
I
figure they
just
do that.
and I don't like how her and Clint interact.
Well,
You can tell Clint's dragging her everywhere, trying to
yeah,
steer the
yeah,
conversation.
yeah. I did notice that he was always trying to get her to talk about, and he go like, "Oh yeah, what do you think, Danica?" And he tried to hand it to her. I did notice that a couple of times.
And it's usually when she starts talking about Indy, he'll try and steer it. So
Yeah,
I just, I don't know. She's almost, not quite, but almost down to Michael Waltrip level as far as being in the booth. Oh my God. I used to literally turn off the volume and listen to Sirius XM when he was on the booth. I couldn't handle it.
he's he does truck, right?
Yeah, he does do truck.
Yeah, so
Um,
he's still there, but it's like not really, and we really care. I don't know. I
yeah, he
liked
does
Matt in the
his.
booth. I liked Tony in the booth. Danica,
Tony was excellent.
it's just the camaraderie and he has with Clint 'cause they've worked together and they know
Well,
a lot
exactly.
of
And
inside.
just as well as far as feeding off of each other and stuff, because Tony's just as big a smart ass as Clint.
Yeah, and
And
Tony don't
they
give a
just
shit anyways.
no, but they really fed off each other really good, I thought. And and again, my only point is you can just tell
Yeah,
that Clint is struggling with
yeah,
Dana
yeah,
because he is really struggling.
yeah. They're doing an interview right now with Tyler Reddick, and I want to bring up that is Tyler Reddick. I feel bad for that boy. 2 races in a row, numb legs. Could you imagine driving a race car going numb legs?
Yeah,
He said it
and
was
they did
worse
quite a
this week. Last
well.
week, actually.
They said that they reconfigured his seat, put
And
in some spacers, and I saw yesterday with during or before qualifying where he was talking about it, and he thinks that they've got it figured out, but it's just something with the seat that's pinching nerves or veins or something.
yeah, it's like sitting on a toilet too long and your legs go numb.
Yep.
He said
But
he said his right leg at Cali, right? He couldn't feel his right. It's
yep,
one of the
he could
legs.
not feel.
And then at Vegas, he said both of them were gone. He couldn't feel both of them.
Yep.
And
But they
that's
said that
pretty
they
crazy.
think they've got it fixed for Phoenix. So
Oh, I
we'll
guess,
see.
yeah, we'll see. And I didn't know if both his legs were numb until a later on interview after the race. And
Oh, I
that,
told you during the race, remember that his legs we might I thought we might have had a medical issue because
well,
he
that
was
was at
complaining.
Cali, not Vegas. We talked about,
Right.
yeah. In Vegas, I didn't know about it until after the race of Vegas. It wasn't really talked about, from what I understand. He talked about it
Yeah.
after the race for Vegas, and that boy,
Yeah, I was
I'm
concerned for him
impressed
at
with
Cali.
the way he's racing. He's gone down a few laps, and I've had him in my lineup, and I'm like, oh, he's a couple laps down, take him out, and he comes back to finish like 10th. Like, come on.
I
Yeah.
made a good move last week. I got what's his face, Eric Jones out of there and put in I think it was Austin Cindric, but um and of course
Yeah,
Kyle
he
Busch
finished up to
racing the
7th
truck.
last week. He was down a
Yeah,
couple laps, and he finished back up to 7th. Man, that boy can drive.
he can.
I'm
I'm
super
impressed
impressed
with
with
him.
him. Yep. I mean,
Well, remember in our
same,
inaugural show, I told you to keep an eye on that guy.
same thing as Eric too. He's the only one that's finished top 10 in all races, which is surprising. Eric Almirola.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, Almirola.
Almirola.
I thought you were talking about Eric Jones.
No, no.
No, yeah, Almirola. In fact, I've had him in my lineup for 2 races, and I'm pulling the boy out. He can't do this 4 races in a row.
You think?
I don't think
I don't
so.
even know who I put in this week. I think I put Eric Jones in my garage just for the hell of it to see how he goes. I almost put Ty um Ty
Ty
Dillon.
Dillon?
Yeah, I almost put Ty in because I don't want to waste certain picks, and maybe that's just like a Hail Mary, see how he goes. But he really hasn't done too much this year. But I'm swinging for the fences this week. I'm picking all high good ones.
We'll go over that in just a little bit. Uh, Looks like we've got a real good possibility of doing a street race in Chicago now in 2023. That Steve Probst, that's kind of in charge of scheduling and all that, hinted at it real hard this
Yeah,
week.
I did
That
see that. I saw an article that it says 2023 looks like it's gonna have a Chicago, which
street race.
I wouldn't mind going to it.
No, I think it'd be pretty
Cool
cool.
to go. And yeah, it's a street race. And when's the last time they had a street race? So, um,
Um,
so we'll see how that goes.
I'm gonna touch on another thing here, and then we can probably be done with Vegas. And uh, lowest ratings of the year or ever for the first race at Vegas.
Really,
Yep,
I didn't know that.
they had a 2.6 share,
Well,
4
didn't
point.
what's his nuts, the owner of that, was always bragged about ratings for Vegas. He's like, take all the other ones out, come to Vegas. You know,
Yeah,
Vegas. And he
not
was always
anymore.
really. I didn't realize that.
Vegas ratings. The way Nielsen and whoever's doing this is they're actually taking last year out because it was such a jacked up year with COVID that you can't really.
Yeah.
I mean, people weren't allowed at the track, and before that we were in 2020 we were doing the iRacing.
Yeah.
So what they're using is 2 years ago numbers. Vegas races, the Vegas race was down 15% from 2 years ago, the last time they had a spring race. California wasn't any better. They were down to a 4.5 rating, 2.6 million viewers. Now Daytona
Was
was great. It was great. That was an 8.8 rating with 4.7 million plus viewers, and they're saying close to 8 million across all platforms.
Well,
So that was
that's
good.
one of the things though. They advertise it as such. They advertise the biggest of the year. Let's get it out of the way, and then they don't really concentrate on what's after. They just hope that's
Yeah.
going to transfer by, okay, oh, this was a good race. Let's go to the next one. So it's kind of like on honestly
Well, that's what they
NASCAR.
thought about racing at the Coliseum, that it was going to. I mean, this is the West. I cannot wait to see the ratings and attendance at the track for the Phoenix race when this West Coast swing is over. Because I promise you, it's not going to be the big bump that they thought that the Coliseum was going to get them.
I thought it
And
was. Go ahead.
I asked the question at the time: how many people that have never been to a NASCAR race before that actually went to the Coliseum then turned around and bought tickets for either
Fontana
Fontana,
or
Vegas, or Phoenix?
Yeah.
And I predicted not many,
No.
and I think I was right on that.
What I thought was funny too is I didn't think the stands were that full for Fontana. And there's, oh, you people need to stop worrying about the fans in the stands. The kind of fans in the stands mean something.
Yeah.
And then Vegas, I was completely blown away how they tarped off the whole turn 3 and 4. Complete. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. The track attendance isn't,
Not at all.
and they keep talking it up like there's a problem.
Yep.
There is a problem. There really is, and I can help them fix it if they listen to me, but they're not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just shocked that they keep seeing this and they keep, we had that whole conversation about building that track in the Coliseum and turning around and tearing it down, and all that wasted money.
Yeah, they could have definitely put that into a homegrown track in the in the heart of NASCAR, North Carolina, South Carolina. Put it there, Virginia, whatever, and use that as the their Busch Clash races, and then they could rent it out to whatever else. They could have built their own this instead of waste. It's literally just a waste of money. Come on.
It's gone. That's fact. Okay. something coming up that we're going to skip right over Phoenix for a second. They're probably going to put the double yellow line rule at Atlanta.
I heard, isn't that the newly configured paved
Yep.
Atlanta? It's gonna be too
Yep.
damn
I think it's going to
fast.
be a fast track.
Yeah, it's gonna
I
be
haven't seen
fast.
any speeds from it, but that double yellow line rule, all it does is create problems.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, oh, he pushed me, so I'm gonna force him up. I'm not gonna move. It's gonna cause crashes.
Yep. And nobody's going to race down there intentionally. I mean,
It's
it's
not like it's Cali or Vegas where they go down to get a run.
exactly. Or even Phoenix. They really cut that back dog leg.
Yeah, so we'll see how it races because it's they have no data now. New car, new track. That's gonna be a
It's going to be
crapshoot.
a very interesting race to watch, and I think it's going to be very fast.
When is that coming up?
Next
Oh,
weekend.
is it next weekend?
Yep. They got that, and then they go, I think, to Bristol.
Uh,
Is Bristol?
no. He goes Phoenix, Atlanta, then Circuit of Americas, Coda, then Richmond,
That's
then Martinsville. That Coda's in Texas. That's
okay.
last time they went there. I want to say that was when the rain happened, and that was a total crapshoot. With Kevin Harvick and people running in the back of him, it was an interesting race, but it was rain, and they decided to run in the rain.
Yeah, I remember that.
Uh, but Kevin Harvick was very vocal on how dangerous it was running in the rain, and they couldn't see where shit. If you were in the front, you were good. Where Chase was. So I don't think they're gonna run in the rain. I think that was a test for last year, especially with this new car. Well, they might try it with the new car just to see. But that's the first road course of the year, and I can tell you right now, you want Christopher Bell on your lineup for that race.
Think so?
Yeah, he's really good at road courses. Well, he won the Daytona road course last year, and pretty much every one he's been up there. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and Christopher Bell, and then you can go from there. Probably get AJ Allmendinger because he's probably going to run that race.
Yeah, and I saw where oh crap, who was it is going to run at Coda? Oh my goodness. I just saw that. Boris said,
Ooh,
yeah. There's your garage guy right there.
yeah, Boris Said or AJ Allmendinger. It's just
JJ Yaley's gonna run it also, which
yeah,
doesn't excite me.
no,
Well, no, he's running the full. Never mind. But yeah, he's running at Coda. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
yeah. So we got Phoenix, Atlanta, Dakota, then Richmond, then Martinsville.
Yep.
And then they're gonna start coming up north because that's going into April, so it'll be warmer weather.
I'm finding something here real
Then
quick.
then it's Bristol, and then Talladega.
Okay. I'm not at all. I'm sorry. I cannot get excited about.
Is that the Bristol Dirt? Yeah, it
Yes.
is. It's gonna be Bristol Dirt. Hopefully, it doesn't rain like last year, and they had to push it all the way to like Monday or Tuesday with all the rain.
I just don't know why they don't go to Tony's track or Eldora. I just don't
It's
get it.
fucking dirt. You're moving all that dirt on that track. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the race. It was good. It was it was different. Fine, but for all the dirt and all the stuff you're gonna move it in, move it out, build your own Bristol dirt track somewhere.
Yeah. Well, they've got a drag strip out back. Why
Yeah,
not make a dirt track out back?
yeah. Just make your own Bristol dirt track somewhere. Like they could have used the same money. What they could have done is built the Bristol dirt track and then put the Coliseum inside the Bristol dirt track. Let's be honest, it would have fit.
Ain't that the truth? Oh man. All right, bring that back. But
um,
I just cannot get excited about the Bristol dirt track. To me, it's again a whole lot of time, effort, and money. When you could be doing it. I mean, they take the trucks to Eldora. Why don't they just take the cup cars there instead of doing this?
it's not, it's not prime time.
Well,
I don't know. What
it
I
is
really
what it
don't know
is.
why.
It,
Any other Trying to think of any other news that's happened. Oh, Trevor Bayne, where'd he finish yesterday? I know he finished or qualified.
Fourth. He finished fourth. He had
That
a
boy's gonna
problem
get
in the.
he's gonna get a full time ride again. Gonna prove it.
Yeah, I
Either
hope
it was
so.
Joe Gibbs or what, but he's gonna get a full time. He's the last two races he's raced. He's been in the top 4 or 5. So
Yeah. Yeah, he was strong. He won stage one. Then they had a problem in the pits, and he never fully recovered from that. But he was still, like you said, fourth place, top five. I mean, that's only a second race this year, and I don't think he's raced in 4 or 5 years
no, yeah, he's
since.
been gone for a while doing his coffee thing, just getting out of the business and drama and stuff. And then he's apparently rejuvenated, reinvigorated, and it shows.
Yeah,
He's got equipment under him, and he knows he does. And he's proved it. He still got it. When I liked
yeah,
it too, because when he did that first interview, it's probably at Cali when he did it, because I don't think he raced at Vegas. It was Cali, and he goes, it sucked because they took him out for Mark Martin, not Mark Martin, but Matt Kenseth, and Matt Kenseth still struggled in that car. And then they brought in Ryan Newman. He goes, so it made me feel good that they're struggling the same way I was. So it wasn't just me, you know. So it kind of gave him a, I guess,
well, yeah.
morale
When he
boost.
was, I mean, Roush is the biggest talent killer I have ever seen as an owner. I mean, you got a guy, look at the people that have left him.
Yep.
I
Kenseth,
mean,
Ken,
Kurt Busch,
well,
Kenseth,
Carl Edwards never
Edwards,
left.
Carl
Yeah, he
Edwards.
did go
I
to.
mean,
Yeah, he did go to. Where?
Mark Martin,
Yep.
and then he wouldn't utilize Trevor Bayne, brought Kenseth back because I suppose he thought he was
Yeah.
something special. And then they put Ryan,
Yep.
who is a college educated engineer,
Yeah.
and he couldn't help him figure it out. Now he got Chris Buescher.
Well, now you have Brad Keselowski, who's.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Yeah. I put him in a lineup last week, and I wish I wouldn't have.
I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. Not yet.
I don't
I
know
might
where he
at
finished.
Talladega or something like me. I could see it at Atlanta, but there's just, I mean, he's starting 15th today.
I think Atlanta says it's gonna be kind of like a super speedway almost. That Fords are gonna do pretty good because they did really good at Daytona. Might be a Ford Tuesday for that. Trying to figure out where he finished. Didn't he? Bad, Brad. Yeah, he finished 24th running.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
Like
He's a full 3 miles an hour, actually 3.5 mile an hour off the pole speed for today.
then Brad finished 27th at Cali. Daytona, he crashed out. No, he didn't.
Right.
Did he crash out? No, he didn't. He crashed people out. He finished 9th.
Yeah. After taking out about the front 15.
Yeah. Who was it? Oh, yeah, Harrison. You can't push to the right, Brad. And then all the memes that came out of it having a plow on its front bumper.
Oh, that was the best one. Is a bulldozer plow on the front of his car. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was funny.
But all right, let's do a little Phoenix racing here. You got 9 teams failed.
Oh,
9 teams failed 2 times in inspection, and every single one of them lost their car chief. It's the number 18, 15. I don't remember who 15 is.
no, that's not, Corey wears 51 or something. I can look real quick.
I'm trying to find it. I don't even see it on the lineup. Maybe he got thrown all the way out. Oh, Garrett Smithley. Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Josh Bilicki, 41. That's Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, Todd Gilliland, and both of Petty's cars. 43 of Eric Jones and the 42 of Ty Dillon.
Do we know exactly what it was?
I don't know exactly what it was. They just said they failed inspection 2 times. The only really, really huge name in that is obviously Kyle Busch. But and I don't know what Kyle Busch is starting dead. He didn't even take qualifying time. What happened?
9 teams, failed 2 times was Reddick. Damn it, I didn't put him in my I did, but I think he'll be fine at the beginning of the race. He'll do like a Kurt Busch back, Chris Bell.
He's gonna have to really.
Hi, Dylan and Eric Jones. I might have to take Eric Jones on my lineup.
Well, I went with heavy hitters because I'm number one and I'm staying there. I got Blaney Harvick, Larson, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and I put Truex in the garage.
Last week I was in my head. I changed my lineup like 5 times. I'm like, no, let's. Yeah.
Well, I was complaining the last time we talked about this racingreference.info thing.
Mm-hmm.
They must have had a website glitch because now it is back exactly to the way I remember it, where you can filter to active drivers and the track that we're racing at, and it goes back 10 races. They may have been trying to fix that because of the COVID thing.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it'll show you the last 10 races of each active driver and what their wins, top 5s, top 10s, how many poles, the laps they've run, the laps they've led, their average start, their average finish. It's really, really cool. And how many points they have collected at said track. When I pulled it up this week, the most interesting thing to me is, supposedly Kevin Harvick's the god of, he's not in the last 10 races.
Who is?
He's only got 1 win.
I put him in my lineup.
Yeah, well, I got him in there too. But Kyle Busch is actually the king of Phoenix over the last 10 races.
Yeah,
with 2 wins.
I'm going heavy this time. I'm catching. So
you're gonna try and catch me.
Like Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and then I put Denny in the garage.
Your butt.
Well, and you got to realize the matchups are real big too, because that's 40 points right there you can gain for the matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other 2 that I've got in that I was really pleased with is Hamlin and Truex. And I really think that after all the trouble Hamlin's had, Truex hasn't had a spectacular year so far. These are both tracks where in the last 10 races, they've got 7 top 10s apiece. They've each got a win. They've got 5 and 6 top 5s respectively. Their average finish, Truex is 8.6 and Hamlin is 9.8.
Yeah, but Hamlin's been struggling. That's the only thing is that boy.
Well,
hopefully he comes
I just
around.
Got a feeling.
You're
as much as we just badmouth Keselowski, he's actually got a 9.4 average finish at this track.
Yeah, so that's in Penske, not fucking Roush stuff.
That's a fact.
You're up 40 points on me and 30 points on Frank in the thing. Yep. I got screwed, I think, in Cali.
I didn't do very well at California myself. That was a bad one. But I did good last week, and I think I'm going to do good this. We'll see.
We'll see. Let's see if anything happens with Ty. Because last 2 weeks, the ending of the race was just a crapshoot. It would have been a completely different points race if Kyle would have won with Martin, right behind him, instead of Hendrick 1-2. I don't know where Chase fit.
The only one I didn't put, I didn't put Chase Elliott in there. I don't know. I don't got a good vibe about him right now. I don't know why, but I don't. But anyway, let's see what happens when I do that. I think it's going to be a good race.
Oh yeah, Ross Chastain was a surprise child last race.
Yeah, he was too.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure who's the surprise. Before that was Daniel, and then it was Ross. So everybody's like, "Oh, look at that! Yeah, it's Chevy though. You know how to drive, you can do well." And he actually led a lot of laps. Let's see. Inspections. What other news?
That's about all. Valvoline's coming out for the first time in a long time on Kyle Larson's car this week. The first of 3 races that they're going to be there,
They
which I thought
were,
was cool. That car did look sharp yesterday.
yeah, they were on his car last year too. Or was
Hmm. I don't think it was Valvoline.
Valvoline was on a Hendrix car. I want to say it was William Byron and Kyle Larson, but it might have been Alex Bowman. I can't remember.
I don't know. I I mm,
I want to say I remember him being on it last. I want to say, well, right now, yeah, it was on Kyle Larson last year and Alex Bowman. I was right.
okay on both of them.
Yep. Yeah. Valvoline expanded its partnership with 13-time NASCAR Hendricks by adding primary sponsorship of playoff contending Kyle Larson and William Byron for the next 2 seasons in both 2021 and 2022. It's cool because they're not the same paint scheme. Now, William Byron looks like the old school, like Mark Martin one. It's more blocky.
Okay.
It's pretty cool looking. Kyle Larson, I don't know what his site looks like today, but last year's it was like all red, but it's
To me, it looks like the old, almost Mark Martin scheme.
yeah, William Byron, that's what it looked like.
I really liked
Oh,
what they had on.
yeah, it was on Alex Bowman's 88 car though. It wasn't on the
Okay.
48. But yeah, Valvoline's been there. It's just right now, even with Kyle Larson winning the championship, that stigma with him being suspended for that year is still with him. It's hard to get sponsored, but they're slowly coming. And Valvoline's starting to, branch out. I know he's got a few other ones, but it's mainly Hendrick. I don't know
I am not worried about Kyle Larson
Oh,
at
hell
all.
no. Pfft, he won him a championship. He's there for pretty much until it
Yeah.
wants to be done. Jeff will stand up for
I mean, what happened was unfortunate, uncalled for, and unnecessary, and I get all that. But my gosh, um,
He proved it
it's
last year. He literally smoke showed last year. The
yep.
whole nobody he could drive a turd and still beat most. I was trying to find the paint schemes because NASCAR usually has paint schemes on their website.
Let's see, team chart. Mm,
Oh, there it is. Paint
I
scheme. Oh, the 23 got a root. Root for drivers good. Ian's trying to. Oh, Hunt Brothers is on.
Yeah,
Harvick's.
Humbro on Harvick this week. Yeah.
Yeah, that 5 car of his is very similar to what he had last year. It's just that, yeah, obviously the Valvoline wasn't on the side because of the number. But yeah, it's
No,
very
like I
similar.
said, I really liked it. I
Yeah,
thought it was sharp.
it looks very sharp. Like I said, last week's uh, Brian Blaney car, I really liked that car. It just was, whoever designed it did a really good job.
Well, and I think
Oh,
too
AJ's
that
driving today? I didn't think he's driving today.
I believe so.
Yeah, and the number 16. I thought he was only going to do I know he's doing certain ones, but I didn't think he was driving today. Chris Buescher and the 18 DeWalt, which is going to kind of like a throwback to Matt Kenseth's 20 or what,
Yeah,
17.
it does look. I noticed that yesterday. Kyle Busch has got the DeWalt colors, and that's sharp.
Yeah, it's very sharp looking.
Tyler Reddick starting on row 6 with him. I'm like you. I'm kind of rooting for Tyler Reddick. He's a good kid.
Yeah, he's proven himself. Well, yeah. He's kind of last couple years has been bad because Childress hasn't been top quality, but this car it kind of evens out the playing field so he actually can contend. Some of those cars look really sharp.
Well, and I think it's that moving that number up a little bit so they can get the full logo
Yeah,
on the side
yeah. Chase
instead
Elliott.
of a bumper sticker.
That Chase Elliott car always ugly. That Universe. I don't like that car color. Teal.
No, I don't like that either.
But you know what? Sponsor's a sponsor, I guess.
Exactly. If they're willing to put it on there.
Yep. Well, that's not really
Um,
true. You can't, anything Trump 22 or 24 type shit do, huh?
no, No, but you can have BLM on there. That's
Yeah.
just fine and dandy.
Yep.
No worries there. And Logano obviously with his Shell Pennzoil. But yeah, that DeWalt on Kyle Busch. That I really like that. That was another sharp head turner that I saw
I
yesterday.
saw because I think Darlington they do a throwback, or is it Rockingham? I think it's
Yeah,
Darlington.
Darlington's where they do the
The throwback,
throwbacks.
and they were doing a vote because this is the last year Eminem's gonna be on his thing, and they're doing a vote of like every paint scheme that Eminem's has, and they threw up some of Ken Schrader's old Eminem paint schemes,
Oh, they were cool.
and a lot of people from what I've seen were voting like the oldest one, and it's gonna be really cool if they do that retro Eminem's
I
paint
don't
scheme.
recall seeing this on Kyle's paint scheme, and it might be just me not noticing, but what I used to notice is when Ernie Irvan was driving that 36 car and the two M&Ms on the back looked like somebody just
Yeah.
scared the shit out of them. That was great.
uh, Paint scheme they're talking.
But
I forgot where I saw it, but they're doing a vote, be a fan vote, what car, and it's gonna be pretty cool if they do the old paint scheme from I don't know. I think it was Ken Schrader, old Eminem paint scheme, which I don't know what he's gonna do. Maybe that's what he's doing this year. Kyle Busch is testing the waters as new sponsors, like with DeWalt. I don't know what he's gonna do next year. I haven't heard anything.
no, I'm just surprised that M&M's Mars is
Leaving
leaving.
after
Yeah.
what 25 years?
Yep. Well, I can't remember who Schrader and Ernie Irvan were, what the team was, but it was after Ernie Irvan got hurt that M&M's went over to Joe Gibbs. Um, all right, I found something here. I hope. Uh, I don't know. It's like we were talking. There's so many cool schemes out there that.
The throwback scheme's a really cool weekend. It's not the sponsors particularly. It's just a paint scheme of how it was done with the current sponsors.
Mm-hmm. And they're showing me old ones.
Yeah.
Bush class at the Coliseum. I didn't want to see that. So, all right. So any predictions for you for Phoenix as far I want to see who's your winner and who's your dark horse. And by dark horse I mean somebody that nobody sees finishing in the top 5.
Top 5.
Yeah, just top
Hold
5's
on,
all you got to do.
Let me go to this. Where's the hell? Well, much as I don't want to say him, I want to say Kevin Harvick just because I think he needs this after last year's snafu, but he hasn't really been producing. I'll say Kevin Harvick. Come on, load. I'm trying to figure out like a dark horse that no one could see in the top 5. Last California was Daniel Suarez, and no one saw coming. Last week was Ross Chastain that no one.
That's my point. That's why I want to start doing this.
Let me look here. And Eric Jones was another one for California no one really saw coming. I actually picked him. You know, man, you know what? I'll do Harrison Burton.
That's good pick.
I think he's starting late, but later he's halfway through the field. But I think I'll pick Harrison.
I'm going to take Mr. Dead Last, Ricky Stenhouse.
Really, as your dark horse?
Yep. And
yeah,
Harvick
he actually is up there. He's actually up there. He can make it.
He's got a long road to hoe. They had to put in a new motor yesterday. Was not able to qualify. Has almost zero track time. Uh, a subpar team. But I agree with you. I think he can do it.
Yeah, he can do it.
But he's my dark horse as far as overcoming adversity and I like Harrison Burton because he's driving in a good team, and I think he's
Well,
if
he's linked up with Toyota, right? Go Gibbs. He's like he's part. No, Penske. Sorry, Penske.
yeah, I was gonna say he's Ford.
Penske.
He's
Yeah,
with Penske. He's a satellite team for
yeah, Penske.
Penske.
Just give him some time, and I think he'll be up there
Yep.
contending.
I was really surprised, or not surprised, because he ended up on his damn lid. But I think if Keselowski would have left him alone, he'd have had a really strong
Oh,
finish at
yeah. I think
Daytona.
that kind of stunted his progress with that crash. It kind of like stalled him out. He needs to get another good finish before he can get the confidence back.
Well, it's kind of hard in your first big league
Yeah.
race, and you end up on your
Honor.
head. That's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one of those you get out and look around like, what the hell?
Like, who are you thinking winning?
I'm with you on Harvick.
Yeah, I think so. I
I
think
just
he's. Hmm.
he's due.
Yeah, I think he is too. I wouldn't be surprised Kurt Busch, because here's one thing I found out the other day too. I actually kind of little sidetrack here. Kurt Busch, if you don't know, he has a 1987 rookie card of Michael Jordan, and
Really?
yeah, it's graded and everything. It's whatever. And when he got signed to the team, he asked Michael Jordan to sign it. He goes, "I ain't signing that until you win a race."
I didn't hear it. That's cool.
Yeah, he goes, "I ain't
That
gonna
is
sign that. When you
cool.
win a race, I'll sign it." So
Nice.
I thought that was a
He's gonna
pretty
get
cool.
that card signed sometime this
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I thought that was a cool little insight for or incentive for him to win for the team. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought that was pretty cool to find out.
No, I like that a lot. All right, dude. I don't have anything more. I know we covered a whole lot of stuff, basically 2.5 races worth.
Yeah. I'll try
But
to
we're
keep
gonna
more
remedy
notes.
that, people. We are gonna start doing this. Whether it's a live feed or record to post, we've discussed this. We're gonna start doing this Wednesday nights
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah. I want to try do live stream and if see how it goes, because it's the same thing. I'm just recording and putting it up, but I think live stream might bring in more people to watch. I
Might.
don't know. We'll see how it goes. And when it's live stream, it's there anyways for people to watch after the fact, so it's not going away. So
Right.
we might try that in the coming weeks. Maybe not this week, but maybe the after. May
Okay.
get the kinks out, but I'm down for that.
Me too. And the reason we want to do it on Wednesday nights versus because usually any penalties or fines or anything are completed by Tuesday.
Yeah, any news,
So,
usually anything out, anything that comes out of the race is Monday and Tuesdays. The news comes out, and then by Wednesday they're already onto the next race. So
yep.
the news is going to be done by Wednesday. If there is, it's a late news.
Yeah.
Something
And
tragic
again,
happened.
it's our attempt to try and stay as current and
Yeah,
relevant as possible. So,
yeah.
all right.
So
I
that's
say cue the music and we see you guys next time, hopefully.
they're going.